So they'll be calling you a radical. This is real important historic news that no one's paying attention to as the ecology collapses. That was the photo I was looking for the other day, Tim Martin. That's what the salmon are supposed to look like. Oh, that had to be a long time ago. What? 2010. By the way, he caught the world's record stillhead. What? In 2011. Yeah. March 2011. Right before Fukushima happened. So this is important historic stuff. So Trump is supporting the mass murder of gassers. So in World War I, they gassed. Who was that? Bayer Monsanto. So get this. I talked to a lawyer yesterday that said that Monsanto and Bayer are playing a dangerous, sickening game on the so-called. So Trump, remember they hired the same asshole who split up the money on 9/11. So if you work for, by the way, my office was in those towers before. I came home before that, but in the day. If you work for Canada Shares, you got a gazillion. If you're a janitor, you got $20. So then the same guy goes down to BP. Remember the BP right there before Fukushima, as Obama just let it go on and on and on and on, and just handed BP, British Petroleum more money. Now they've merged with Shell. They divided that up. People that shouldn't have got money. The people that needed the money, who were the real fishermen, got jacked. So same thing's going. So the Bayer settlement, this is important. Roundup settlement, this is important. Kevin Blanche, cancer survivors, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma fighters. And by the way, first off, to all the nurses and doctors, the real heroes. Not, yay, can I wash your feet? I'm a fireman who's never fought a fire. I'm a cop. They're heroes. Yay, military. Yay, military went off to Afghanistan to kill the Taliban. We killed 10,000. We lost one. Heroes. They're not heroes. They're not heroes. They're pawns. They're pawns in a game. They're pawns. The real heroes, doctors and nurses, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Can you imagine? I was just thinking about my friends at LDS in the East State Bone Marrow. Can you imagine being a patient in there right now? Or being a nurse in there? Because you know what? People's cancer victims, our immune systems are wiped out. Completely down to nothing. And I've learned to work. I've learned to be dynamic about a compromised immune system. Oh, I've learned. I mean, I had to. That's the only way you survive. So these dirtbags, the gassers at World War I, the same thing. Einstein was a gasp. So Monsanto Bayer. So he says, you know what they're doing? So every lawsuit, remember there was the two in St. Louis that were supposed to start in January. They would have put a lot of media coverage on it. They write the check. He says they're writing checks literally on the courthouse steps of these cases just to keep it out of the media. And the massive, which right now, from what I understand, there's, of the so-called 50,000 plaintiffs, 22,000 of them are real claims. And I think about a third of that are actually someone who had non-Hodgkin's or AML or whatever claims. He says they're just kicking the can, just playing a game, and Trump's supporting them. The same guy who did boast up to 9/11. I mean, it's an outrage and a sham that they're going to pull this off. You know, they were found guilty. The class action lawsuits, the government steps in to regulate the class action, right? How long ago was that? It goes back to, you know, you're going to put yourself in a FEMA camp. What a gig they pulled off on this. Was this socially engineered to happen? Of course it was. Listen, stay with me. It did not concern you when all the butterflies died. It didn't concern you when all the insects collapsed. When, oh, waste disease. I love it. The marine biologists are, put that down. When the marine put it down. Trying to play baseball in the house. So the marine biologists, what did I tell you about that? Oh, God. These, you know how they mind. They don't. So, come on, put it down. Here, let me have it. I need to borrow it for the video. Let me borrow it for the video. There you go. I tricked you on that one. So, this is what should have happened to him. Oh, you tattooed that bad up pretty good. So, what movie did we watch yesterday?
The Field of Dreams.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
1988, back when baseball was still the sport, still king, still sophisticated. Now it's football. Fox News rolls into town, buys up the contract. How'd they do it? Wanted by Just Stream 2 to not show baseball, take away the beautiful, romantic, freaking thinking man Americana and turn it into the barbarians. You know, the non-thinking, whoa, they pulled it off. So you disconnect from all the environment, from all the ecology. My favorite's all the wells. And the marine biologists get federal grants to come in and cut up the wells. Can you imagine cutting up a well? Talk about get the coronavirus and kill you. Talk about karma. We'll get back to you. Cutting up a starved-to-death mammal. I mean, in all this gear, acting like they're all that. They're not marine. They're not. Scientists are mystified. They're baffled. They're puzzled. They're stumped. They're perplexed. Right? Why? Because they don't want to talk. It's the nuclear Fukushima meltdown. You mix it up with Bayer Monsanto. This was always their plan. Bayer Monsanto. Why else would Bayer buy Monsanto? They know. Why else? Did this come from a weapons? No, it came from Fukushima. Oh, wait a minute. Fukushima is a weapons lab. The nuclear reactors don't exist to make energy. It takes more energy to keep the spent fuel pools cool than they produce. Oh, we got a sewage leak at San Onofre. We don't know where it come from. God, dump it in the toilet, the ocean. Well, why not? San Diego does it. L.A. Maybe the tourism county can back out and they can quit flushing. You know, surfers who can't surf, skiers who can't ski, scientists who are mystified, baffled, stumped, perplexed. I'm not perplexed. Kevin Blanch's probably the greatest scientist of a time, of an era. Well, probably the greatest event in human history. No paying attention. So, Bayer Monsanto, Trump is supporting the killer. Well, come on, look who his dad is. Look who he is. He says he's one of them. They gassed you. They got you on your... You willingly went on the boxcar. Oh, I got my gun. You got your yellow rocks from the Queen's hole. And they pushed you into a FEMA camp and you're willing to pay some insane price for a house. Someone pays for rent. Hunker down. Don't walk out. Don't walk out of your FEMA camp. To Wells Fargo? I thought Wells Fargo settled out of court for $3 billion for opening fake accounts in 2003. 17 years later. Has anybody got checked? Just like AIG. Remember that? Did anybody get checked? Oh, no. Oh, no. Monsanto, and they're still using it. And Trump, EPA. Oh, you want to talk about... It kills me how you didn't care the tide pools collapse. You didn't care the salmon collapse. You didn't care, so what? All the deer collapse. You know, Utah says we're going to pull out 9,000 less hunting permits because the deer have collapsed. We're still killing them. You know, all the animals collapsed post-2012. The fires, when you have spontaneous fires in California, just boom, at once. We thought maybe it was a group of arsonists. When the atmosphere, it's a new energy. You sprayed so much Roundup. That was always their plan. They started doing that. They were gassing on the fields. Well, by the way, where's the gas? Right here in Utah, Dugway. Remember the sheep? Remember that picture in 1968 when they crawled out on their hands and knees? Well, we have no investigator. Because remember, it just killed a bunch of Indians. Oh, the great Indian killer. Trump likes to take pictures behind the great Indian killer. I mean, who are these European mind men? Not me. I didn't do it. You know. So... mix it up with some Fukushima nuclear melt. Never happened before. This came from a mutation of some kind of seafood. It's so obvious that it's Fukushima. After the boys of summer have gone. Remember that video? Me and Lori did a piece like that, and I wanted to use it, but Henley won't let you. He'll copyright strike on you. We did that exact. Remember how beautiful that video was where the beaches are empty, the streets are empty. Saw a dead head sticking around a Cadillac. I said, don't look back. You can never look back. I'd like to be on the beaches right now. Maybe the animals have a chance. The friendship slaves. Oh, the dog walkers. Mimi, oh, what's this guy's name? They talk to him like they're actually have a cerebral cortex. They don't. I tell buddy, oh, they're your best friend? A dog in your house? Stop feeding them. Let the neighbor feed them, and Fifi and Fufu will be the neighbor's new best friend. This is how disconnected. So, what, you didn't think it had happened to you? We're part of the eco chain. We're part of the ecology. You never said we'd never break. If you don't love me now, you will never love me again. I can still hear you saying you will never break the chain. Oh, they broke it. All right. Back to work. So, the Bavarian Nazis, Walt Disney's castle, Alex Jones, their best puppet. Michael Savage, call it New World when it's all. Batter up. Take America back. Make America afraid. America? I thought this was the United States. Remember we used to make fun of kids? By the way, them Russians are cheating. Those East Germans are cheating. Those women are women. They're not really women. They canceled the Olympics. They're not women. The greatest athlete of all time. That'd be us in the United States. That'd be Bruce Jenner. Bruce Jenner, the greatest probably athlete that ever lived. One of them besides Jim Thorpe. We were having a great conversation, my grandson and I, about the greatest baseball player. Babe Ruth? No. Ty Cobb. Look what they did to him. Turned him into he wasn't a racist. That's all lies. You know, that was all made up lies. Let's see, a lifetime batting average of what, 357, 354? All made up. Look how they can, Napoleon. History is nothing but a pack of lies everybody agrees to agree on. Lay down a bunk. So, Kevin Blanch is the last capitalist. The only capitalists left on Earth are, everybody's gotten checked. Everybody's a socialist now. Everybody's a communist. You're all communists now. Because y'all got your check. You're doing nothing. You're all getting the government. The only true capitalists on Earth are cancer victims fighting for their life. The radio Monsanto, the nuclear fallout murders. I didn't get a check. I'm not going to get $1,200. I'm not going to get anything. I'm not going to get a penny. You know, I have to fight for, thank you to everybody who supported this historic work. I have to do this hard work, and then maybe people will appreciate my hard work and throw me a few bones. That's how I've lived. So the only capitalist left on Earth, Kevin Blanch, the last environmentalist. He's an ivory-billed woodpecker. He's a coelacanth. He's a white rhino. He's a carrier pigeon. The last batting 400. All right. The last 400. Would that be Ted Williams from San Diego? How about Tony Gwynn, number 19? Oh, baseball matters. So everybody's saying it looks like a 1950s birthday party. Freaking, you know, because the grandsons are all in. They were born in March of 2011. What? Yeah. I says, you know, baseball will never go out. They just think they stole it. You know, there's a great line in that book about Terrence Mann. Terrence Mann, who is he supposed to be? That's supposed to be, I believe, Catcher in the Rye, right? Yeah. Wallace Stegner, Edward Abbey. I knew Stegner personally. I knew Edward Abbey. Huh. They wrote us off before. The oligarchs. How'd they do it? One of my jet stream, two about get your freaking gun, but this time we went too far. When we kill our own mother and you stand by and watch them gang rape her. Not me, I didn't stand by. I did not stand by. I tried. Anybody tried more than me. Full of cancer. Kevin Blanch, the last capitalist. Truly, the only last capitalist on Earth. Give them enough rope. Hunker down in your FEMA camp. Watch some YouTube videos and make a pretty song and you didn't think it had happened to you because you didn't think you're part of the ecology. When all the animals and the whole biosphere collapses, this energy, that's what it is. Plutonium, Kevin Blanch, the last capitalist on Earth. Get on the boxcar, take the shower, radio Monsanto Roundup, the nerve gassers at Dugway, Utah. It's right out there. Operation Jackrabbit. Just Google Operation London Fog. Why would they name it that? Stand tuned. Kevin Blanch, the last true capitalist. All cancer to my friends in the East State Bone Marrow Transplant Center. The nurses and the doctors, they're real heroes. Stand tuned.